Good morning. Welcome to Adu and the Guru. And this is the 18th of July, and the edition just before we get into the celebration of you know what. Well, I'll tell you that much later. But welcome to the show, and it's good to have you tuned in this lovely Monday morning. My name is Adu, and it's my pleasure to be here this morning. Well, it would not be Adu and the Guru if Adu is all by himself. So let me present to some and introduce to others the editor-at-large of thenewsguru.com, a veteran journalist of over 40 years of stellar journalistic work with many places around the world, noting and benefiting from his expertise. He's also the convener of Godwin the Guru on YouTube, and of course the new YouTube channel and the website as well that's causing shockwaves across the polity. Well, without further ado, let me introduce to others, present to some, Mr. Godwin Atakibwebu, also known as the Guru. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you, Adu.
And good to see you today.
Nice seeing you today.
Yes, sir.
But there must be conspiracy between two of us, and let us accept that.
Yes, there is.
Because the uniformity of what we are wearing, this conspiracy is not physical. It's more telepathy.
Yes, sir.
You are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. Here we are, Adu and the Guru. We are swimming into the larger waters today. Probably we shall go as far as the Atlantic Ocean. And it's good that the ocean is closer to Lagos than it is more of other cities in Nigeria. So we shall be there. And I have my guests ready. They are ready. Let me explain something before we kick off. Today, I will allow my guests to take over command of this sail, because we are embarking on what I call voyage of discovery. As such, I have two maritime captains aboard. They are not going to take command at the same time, otherwise the vessel will go aground. But I would let you know that quickly. And why two of them? And what are the topics so vital? Bring them, of course. I will mention their name. Before Friday, I had accumulated my menu contents. Then I found myself, and I was able to access INEC Portal early enough on Saturday. So as the things were dropping in the portal, I was looking at them. Then I knew who was coming up or who was going down. But of course, the rules and regulations are simple. You access the portal, but you are not to make the announcement because you are not INEC. So as of 2 a.m., I sat all through. It was around 6 that I remember, today is Sunday, I must pay my obligation to my God. So I got up. Then I decided to change the narratives. All those menus, they were here or they were there, but I decided to introduce a different topic. It was the authority of that different topic that I thought of that I now reached out to two of my friends. And I told them that we were expecting invitation next week. But no, the invitation is today. Then I told them the topic. It could have only been such faithful colleagues of friendship that 6 a.m. yesterday, I reached out to them. Here they are in the studio. So, no, there is no ladies here. I have ladies with me in the studio. Couscous. Roro. You wouldn't talk? No, come, I can. Come and say hello. Say hello to the people. Use my...
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir.
What's your name?
My name is Rhoda Inaju. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Get up. Quick.
Good morning, Lagos. My name is Kosi. Thank you so much for joining us today on the show. I hope you learn a lot.
Thank you. One is couscous, one is roro.
No, that's not how I call it.
Okay, how do you call it?
It's roro.
But I must not do it exactly as you have been doing it, because I might be finding myself being dragged into a land of competition. Now, my guests, I welcome them, then we kickstart the whole show. Sitting directly looking at my eyes eyeball to eyeball. Is my very, very old friend. He is a principality and power in the world of journalism. Charles Kalu. I call him sometimes Buruburu, Sheikh Buruburu of journalism in Nigeria. And that name sticks because we have done too much together. And whenever I'm short of knowledge, I always reach out to him. And he has always obliged me. So sometimes when I come here to speak, people say, they are inherited properties, which I inherited from my friend, Charles Kalu. Charles, please, I welcome you and say hello to the people.
Thank you for having me, sir. It's a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
That's good. And again, and I'm looking at his eyes, and I want to believe he's looking at me eyeball to eyeball, not eyeball to backball. Eyeball to backball was when Senator Abdullahi Ahmed Adamu said that Yoruba ló kàn ní eléyìí èmi ló kàn statement of Ahmed Bola Tinubu in Abeokuta when he said that eléyìí tó jókòó sí mi yìí ṣé ó lè sọ pé láì jẹ́ tèmi ó lè di governor. Then Adamu now told Senator Abdullahi Adamu told the whole world that Bola Tinubu will be sanctioned. Apology will not be enough. He spoke to Bola Tinubu not eyeball to eyeball, but eyeball to backball. Because when they met, the man could not mention a word again. He was almost running and falling to say, congratulations, sir. Congratulations, sir. But here, my brother, my friend, is looking at me eyeball to eyeball, not eyeball to backball. I'm talking of Akin Fatunke. Akin Fatunke, we have been friends for years. He is one of my faithful followers. But we met physically just 4 weeks ago. When we met physically. And looking at him, thank God I'm not on the female side. I would have fallen in love with him straight away. Because everything about him is so attractive. The only regrets I now have of meeting him is that if my mother were still to be alive, I would have snatched my mother from my father and give it to him free of charge that you can take. Akin Fatunke is a shattered accountant. He would not accept to become even the Auditor General of the Federation because how much would the pay be? Akin Fatunke happened to have spent 29 years in the oil industry. So when he speaks about oil, when he speaks about gas, he's at home. Akin, you are welcome. Please say hello to the people.
Good morning, Nigerians and friends of Nigeria. There will always be friends of Nigeria. This morning, wherever you may be and whatever time it is, Guru, it's a great pleasure. I like your anecdote about you asking me to look at mommy. I've been a great thing. But you know, Guru, not all that glitter is gold.
No, here now, for the purpose of this discussion, every glitter thing is gold. Okay, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, the Guru.
All right, Adu, let us, when we shift the base to questioning time and all those, gentlemen, the only enemy we have in places like this is time. So please, our answer should be brief. I will not give more than 2 minutes for each answer, and we should compact it. So you are welcome. Now let's go to the narrative. There is historical perspective. There is knowledge drawbacks. Historical perspective is longer. The knowledge drawbacks is shorter, but is going to do everything advantageous to whatever knowledge stands for. Then the topic we now introduce it. Once we introduce it, I hand over now to my brother, my guest. But before we go to that, what do we have in the menu? Can you do me that favor,
Absolutely.
please?
I'll gladly read the menu. And like the Guru mentioned, it had been prepared quite a long time ago and is ready and hot and sizzling. I'll start from item 1. APC asks for extra time to tackle security challenges, as from the Leadership newspaper. Item 2, Oshun polls Abdusalami's committee decries vote trading, captured in the Punch newspaper. Item 3, I can never underestimate Peter Obi, an article, APC chair Adamu speaks, and the Daily Post captured that statement. Oshun election, item 4, I've not formally heard from INEC that Oyetola lost. APC chair Adamu again is captured speaking, and this time from the Punch newspaper. Item number 5, Oshun governorship election, full results from 30 LGAs. The Vanguard has that story. And item 6, on Oshun election, Adeleke's victory reflects the will of the people, says Buhari. The Guardian has that story. Item 7, twist in Delta PDP as INEC receives new name as party guber candidate, from the Leadership newspaper. And item 8, why Osibajo opted for surgery in Nigeria. Presidential sources gave the explanation, and the Nation has that story. Last but not least, This Day newspaper, much ado about how Governor Hope Uzodima's alleged 455 million naira wristwatch goes viral on social media. This Day newspaper has that.
Thank you very, very much. Uzodima, it's just for the purpose of mentioning his name that he might be the next person of this court return, the thing that will be discussed at the People's Palace. I'm not saying the People's
Parliament,
the People's Palace. But for now, he went to see President Muhammadu Buhari and he brandished the wristwatch he bought for almost $750,000. Translating into government rate, not the what you call either the official parallel or black market or whatever. There are only two markets in Nigeria for the currencies concerned. Akin is there, he's looking at me. I will discuss it without inviting you onto this. And the two markets are the government, the federal government. Those who are privileged to go to CBN will go to CBN, the pick.
Official.
Which is why those who are assessing it says, Emefiele, you must be the next president. Then the other one is what they call official, but there's nothing official about it. The cloth of official that must be taken away. It's purely black market, call it parallel market, call it. Because the one in the government coffer, they finished it. In Nigeria, they finished it. Nothing left. If that risk was translated at the rate of government rate to 455 million naira, Hope Uzodima is wearing it. I might, if not because of the topic we are discussing today, I might want to estimate, and I have the estimation here, how many hospitals that could build for Imo people, how many airports even that could build for Imo people, how many everything that could build for Imo people, how much of security that could bring for Imo people. That is what the man wore when he went to see President Muhammadu Buhari. And over 35 times within 3 minutes, he was looking at the wristwatch. All he was trying to do was to flash it around like this so that the cameras can pick it and say, wow, this is something else. In Nigeria, a governor wearing that wristwatch and nobody questions him. Of course, there is no law that it should be questioned. But a governor we know very, very well enough. A governor that was having a running process with EFCC on the dredging of Calabar ports, where about $12 million had been paid right from the days of Ojo Madueke when he was the Minister of Transport. May God bless his memory. And I felt that the EFCC were always running after Hope Uzodima, even while in the Senate. Many times he said he could not come because his blood pressure went up. Of course, I know he has blood pressure. Now, the first thing he did when he was transferred from the Supreme Court to Imo State, and Charles, unfortunately, you are not from Imo State, so I will ask you many questions about that. If it had been in Abia, then I would have said, you say what you know about it. From Supreme Court, it landed in Imo State. The first thing he did was to write a letter to the office of the Attorney General of the Federation, telling him that he should ask EFCC never to come after him again. And this man is wearing that wristwatch. Isn't that a tragedy of a nation? I leave that to the people. You are not sharing this with me, gentlemen. Osinbajo, of course, the benefits of the amended law, electoral law, they are there. They are grand. We are seeing them now. The tunnel is no more totally dark. There are candle lights. It could be brightened up. And it is as a result of the Electoral Act that have been signed into law. But there is a limit to what the PVC with as amended and everything can do for us. Because those who are thrown off for you and I, to go and vote, the decision of those people, they are not in the advantage of your PVC. They are the carcass of the political party's advantages. 3 people will sit down, and after downloading naira to dollar, then they dollarize the naira, then they pick them. So it is out of the pick of those people that we are going to vote for. Otherwise, with what Osinbajo did, when he was even advised to go overseas, Osinbajo will now remain the most highly placed official of government we know for sometimes, as memory will carry, that refused to travel abroad. Of course, I'm not forgetting that Goodluck Jonathan at no time went for treatment. The only day they invited the doctors was in London. He ate something. He ate kekefia that did not go down well with him in his stomach. It was kekefia, but I have the history. So that was all. But he never traveled medical, what they call it, voyage or whatever you call it. The other day, leg, we were told. President Muhammad Buhari left his hospital bed in London and go and visit Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, one of the most likely incoming presidents in London. And Asiwaju Bola Tinubu told us it's a kneecap. If Osinbajo, if the choice of choosing those had not been left at the privileged positions of the carcasses of the parties, which they throw out on us, primarily, many Nigerians would have made up their mind that Osinbajo should be our president by this action. He was advised to go, but he said no. That's why. That he has confidence in Nigerian doctors. And Nigerian doctors are about the best all over the world, which is true. Even Putin, who is rattling the whole world now, his chief medical officer is in Nigeria. So, Aburo Bisi, Leo Mashiro, though you are not coming for so we cannot vote for you because your people did not say Nigerians need you. But you have set a good example. I think we can use your own now to challenge
every other person.
Because they always meeting. Either you see them in France, you see them in they go to Sudan. They go to Sudan for. All right.
I very much doubt that.
And there is a tweet in the tail as Delta State. It's like Ibori man associated to David Edewia is the one now going because a court had, and you know Justice Taiwo, his judgment can be very, very sound. You can hardly overturn them. Then Oshu election, this election, the chairman of APC Senator Abdullahi Adamu said that INEC has not briefed him. I don't know which portion of the law the man is reading. Is there any portion that says INEC must go and brief fishermen? And the good thing is this, with digitalization of the Nigerian electoral system, we are now moving towards what Goodluck Jonathan suggested at the time, that our election should start at the post and end with the electorate, that we don't need the courts. And what was he saying? Simple. America is there. We are following America. How many courts are deciding anything? Even where is the body that is organizing the election that will say, do this, don't do that? CNN will be ready there for you, because what INEC in Nigeria has now is what they have there, as long as it's going to the portal, so that you don't need the courts. So when Oyetolama was saying yesterday that they are still studying, of course, even in defeat, there can be sorrowful display of actions. So we consider that. So the chairman is saying INEC, his was to answer one question. One question. It is not that the man is too old. No. President Muhammadu Buhari is an old man. Say Baba, he's an old man. But who is older between him and Biden? Biden is older than him. Biden came to the presidency at 80 what? You are just shaking your head. 80 what? So, but we are now talking of people that are alive back and front. Back to back, they are alive. We are not talking of people that at 60 or 70 they become so much of a wreck that to take them on navigational movement will result into disaster. But I'm not discussing that. But the man is still waiting for INEC to come and brief him. The portion of the law that make him to do, I don't know. He's just making ridicule of himself. And of course, the most important thing here is number one, APC asked for extra time to tackle security challenges. If we had time, we would have gone into it. What APC is asking is by the deputy chairman, the North, saying that they could not finish security matter. They have decided to package it to make it part of campaign for 2023 general election. That the APC president that will take over will now pursue it. So it's going to become another. It was a campaign issue in 2015. It became a campaign issue again in 2019. APC is moving it as a campaign issue. May security, may we not dis-securitized is my college of English. If you are not happy with me, go ask Kingsley Uzubaba Diwe. Said today what we had at the National Assembly is what we call Accord Concordia. He said the Zikism of our word. They are never. So if I talk of this, don't go to any dictionary until Baby Oxford will bring it to our dictionary next. It is Mao Koniju. That is the issue. The same security, God forbid it. That this situation we have today in the country, when bandits will go and intervene and get security convoy of my president almost arrested. They were casualty. The casualty did not come from the side of the bandits, but came from the side of the government. They went to Kuje Correctional Center. All the bandits, all the victims, the three. One is a top security, what do you call these people? Civil defense. Then the other one, 3 inmates. No one single one from the bandit, from the terrorist side. The most important is that the video of the attack, as we saw it, came from the terrorists. Where there's no CCTV, what would they think? All right, now having done that, this historical perspective, I may even be dumping it.
Well, but you promised that.
Yes,
this was the.
Yes, my response to the Muslim, what do you call it? Ticket.
Muslim ticket.
See, you are teaching me now.
Muslim ticket.
Make me better student. Muslim ticket. Okay, I will mention it, but let me go first of all. So the election in Osogbo had come and gone. Sorry, Osun. It's come and gone. And winners are declared. And to the Nigeria system, it's a victory to us. It is for that reason, gentlemen, that I beg two of you to please make your presence known to the studio. And we have to interrogate a lot of matters here. But like as I said, time. And I'm not expecting any one of you to challenge me that about you spend about 15 minutes narrating a lot of things together. Gentlemen, for the first time, President Muhammad Buhari did again what he's not used to doing.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulated the opposition. It is not President Muhammad Buhari's best cup of coffee when he wants to go to bed to sleep. But now he has called Oyetola on his Twitter, verified Twitter, Adeleke. He has congratulated the man. And he had made a statement that the result was the wish of the people of Nigeria. Meaning, Oyetola man was saying, we are still studying. I don't know what you are studying. If you are still studying this, then if you go for your work, you will fail. That young man yesterday talked, he will fail. But the president congratulated Adeleke. And he told Nigeria, what happened there is the wish of Nigeria be. And he now said, I will leave as a legacy free and fair elections. He is not used to doing this before, but he has done it. Gentlemen, the question I will ask, 2 minutes answer from each of you, please. I will start with you, Shaz. Is it having survived the first tenor and second tenor to this hour and seeing what happened in the primaries that picked Ahmed Bola Tinubu as the presidential candidate running for? Is it that President Muhammad Buhari is no more interested in the APC? Or is it that from his heart exactly he is congratulating Adeleke? Or is it whatever they want to do with themselves, they should do with themselves? Please, on your answer, I recognize the fact that the congratulatory message itself is good enough. That's what a Democrat is supposed to be doing. Which one do you think is responsible for President Muhammad Buhari to speedily do one thing that he's he's lacked in doing? Charles, 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, Guru. First of all, we also have to congratulate the people of Oshu State because there was one thing very unique about the election. We didn't hear of vote killings, vote snatching. We didn't hear people running roughshod on people, harassing people. We didn't really hear most of that, which has always also...
No, sorry. Let me cut you short. There was, but minimal. One of the girls, she's still in the hospital. They used cutlass to decorate part of the head.
Absolutely.
And at Elisha, they came with gun and told them, but the police went after them and got them arrested. Go ahead.
I agree, but when you also make such comparisons with the typical elections we have,
yes,
at some point you see that those kind of issues usually overshadow the election itself.
Yes, sir.
So it's absolutely good, but I don't think President Buhari has consistently congratulated governors-elect. He has. When it happened to Edo State, he did congratulate Governor Baseki.
Okay.
When it happened in Imo State, he did congratulate Governor Hope Uzodinma. When it happened in Ekiti State, he also congratulated the governor-elect. But maybe the thing is, possibly it is consistent with his party members.
Okay.
Maybe this is almost one of the first times that we have, Edo is not his party member. So now to Anambra as well, he did congratulate governor-elect then, Soludo. So he does this, but definitely that is what should be expected because already democracy is engraved and enshrined in Nigeria now.
Okay.
So definitely if you want to go to court, because these are some of the things that definitely would douse tension. I congratulate you. However, if the other party thinks he wants to go to court, take the right route. Okay? Don't take laws into your hands. So that is why the president, to a large extent, I also think that he goes ahead to send these congratulatory messages to ensure that, look, guys, this has taken place.
Okay.
You don't have any need to take the law into your hands.
Okay.
Let everything work. If you think that you don't like what INEC has announced, you go to court.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't know whether I should read this person's message, but it says, Guru, you are misleading the people. Buhari is not like that. He's congratulating people. Sorry, sir. That might be your opinion. If I'm misleading the people, Charles, who have just explained something to you, are not the one who invited him to the studio. It is because of the other side, which is superior to me, that I invited this man to the studio. So give me kudos for that. Before you answer the same question, Akin, let me read this out. Summary of votes in Osun. Total number of registered voters in Osun, 1,952,387. Total number of accredited, 827,210. Total valid votes, 804,450. Rejected votes, 18,674. Total votes cast, 823,124. Meaning, total registered number, when the day of election came, those that went to be recognized, to be registered, to be accredited, became less than half of total registered number. We'll come to that. Gentlemen. But, sir, I think because he has answered the question, let me not put you on the same parole. The enthusiasm, mostly the youth, fighting for PVC. I've just read out that total resistance. In fact, INEC in Osun left there to almost 3 days that it should be collecting their decision. But 1,952,387. But when it came to, yes, go and cast your vote now, number of accredited is just 827,218. Is that a party or what? What does that stand for? And what is the reading of that?
Well,
to 2023.
The Guru, thank you very much. What I start philosophically, as you always do, I want to quote Victor Hugo here. Nothing, no force on earth can obliterate. Now I'm iterating with my own words. Can change an idea which has come. And the idea that a new beginning, a new dawn is coming upon Nigeria, and that we will go and get into revolution without necessarily shedding blood through our votes. I will say to you with all emphasis that I think I know, that those discrepancies that you just mentioned in the statistics that you have put again will always be there, will always be with us, and will always continue to try and see how we can change. I can also tell you for free.
Now, we will pay you if you charge me. I'll pay you.
I will also tell you for free that something happened very, very close to the day of elections. I'll just mention it and I'll stop. There was the Davido influence for social media. Now, a couple of people, for one reason or the other, have not listened to INEC, have not listened to Adu, have not listened to Guru, have not listened to what has been going on in social media, that you need to go revalidate. So Davido now came in and said, okay, I have, and all that, and they just believed they should be able to go in there, only for them to discover that if you didn't go to to revalidate your PVC, you will not be able to vote, and so they had to back out. I will also say something, and that is the fact that the security forces, we don't normally praise them. I've spoken about
I'll come to that. I'll come to the security.
Okay, all right.
Praise the security.
They came with a determined force to make sure that they do as much as they could. Amotekun, for instance, were not allowed to to do participation. The orderlies or VIP constabularies that goes with VIPs was kind of withdrawn. Notwithstanding that, my surmise is simple. The Osun election has become a torchbearer to what can happen when people are determined, when people come out and walk the talk in Nigeria, led by 72% of all voters that has been recognized by INEC. Okay, I mean, a few can die and a few can jump into 18 plus and stuff like that, but by and large, 72%, which is made up of youths in the country, can say no, never again.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, of course, I cannot talk here praising INEC without praising all other stakeholders. For example, in 2018, the police moved 40,000 men and officers to Osun. That was from the police force alone. The Navy moved, the Air Force moved, the DSS moved, the Army moved, the Civil Defense moved, and other. Now, as of last week, the police moved, is it 30,000? Only. That fall from 40,000 of the other time. Even if you look at Ekiti 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, from 30,000 moved that time, they come down to 20,000. The police move. Is that a reality of what is coming? That violence is gradually escaping from our terrain? I'll come to you for Charles, please.
I don't think so, sir. But the thing too is, one of the greatest things that have also brought about violence in our elections is because of apathy. When you have few people, because I remember them some years back, I covered the election in Rivers State, and we found out that people were willing to come out to vote. But there were this set of people, they were in buses, driving around the city, shooting guns. Please also saw them. But you know how our police does now. When,
No, I don't know. Tell me.
It's a case of when the deal is already done, they now come to say, where are they? So,
okay, you mean after the armed robber would have gone, then they come to say, where are they? Okay, go on.
So I also think that when more people now come out, the tendency for security to break down, the tendency for violence to be there will be limited. So good a thing too now. People are gradually realizing that the measures being put in place by INEC also means that their votes will now count. So that is also another thing that could also be reducing that. But also remember that if police is giving us 20,000, we also have the NCDC. We have, because you aggregate all of them, it now increases the number. Okay, because we even now have EFCC and ICPC on ground because of the so-called vote buying. Okay, so I think that it is not what we should be expecting, because if, for instance, it is only the election in Osun that has 20,000, which also means that security personnel must have been invited from the various.
No, the police haven't got 20,000 in Osun, but the police 2018 mobilized 40,000 men of their own. Apart from the other one, this time they move it 30,000.
Yes, even
21.
They must have moved them from neighboring states.
Of course.
So now, what happens to the larger election? So where are we going to get an aggregation of 21,000, for instance, to land in Lagos?
But this is the lowest number that has been deployed in recent 1 year or two. Looking at Anambra, looking at Ekiti.
I think he's making a point. The point is making is that this is
those are isolated
off season. What do you call it?
Off season election,
yeah.
so to speak.
If now 2 are gone now, If say 30 states,
this is the last of it now.
Yes.
So the next set will be next year. So we're not going to have 30 states, for instance. Now, are we going to deploy from these other 5 states now, from Anambra, Ekiti, Osun, Edo? Are we going to deploy those policemen now? We'll spread them across Nigeria. Yeah. Okay, so now are we likely going to have as much as that number in each state?
Even 10,000 in each state.
Okay. So which could also be. But the thing too is, if you have more people, you encourage people to come out, which is also some of the work when you say the National Orientation Agency. Encourage people. Always tell people that, look, it is your civic responsibility. Come out, then I think we're not likely going to have so much violence.
Okay.
Yes, Charles.
I won't want to.
It made the logic.
Aki, no, I won't want to you to come on to that because of time. There are still bigger issues we must touch.
All right.
What we saw now, can we say with every authority that Nigeria has gradually moving into the arena of digitalization?
I would say yes.
And in less than 2 minutes, could this be a hope into 2023?
I would say yes. And I would say that people should look and analyze a bit much more carefully. Apart from the legacy that you mentioned at the intro with Buhari, he should wake up and is smelling the coffee. And the less we have human intervention, normally, rest ipso facto, you are more likely to get a near utilitarian report, because the camera, the digital does not look at persons. If you do not do the grassroots very well, and you think what you are going to do is to try and do a garbage in,
garbage out,
it has to be garbage out. I believe strongly. The Guru, I made a statement from the onset. I said Davido influence. We may now be going to other states. We can come to Lagos, we can go to Rivers. Situations where the following of Davido on Instagram alone, compare contrasts to what those who are vying for presidency, and then the youths are all coming. Don't forget, following the technology that tells you 2 + 2 is 4, it may be 5, it may be 3 if you are using a binary system. But if it must be 4, we no go agree, kind of shouting that the youth now said, we are not going to go back to 2018. We are going to do a rerun. We have the result. It's been transmitted online. Mm-hmm. You can't change. Even Professor Tola Ogudipe was clear. If you came and you wanted to come and do some wuru-wuru, look, go back. Go look at your numbers and come back. That's how we are taught. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's a great thing. We are not going to be talking about going to Dubai for a cyber thing out there. We now have it done by Nigerians, supervised by Nigerians, and we as a collective saying again, no, never again. I think we are moving to the right direction.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, let me throw one question. Charles, give me a sense. Make a sense of it for me, please. Because I'm still lost, being the typical bushman I am. Is this a message that Peter Obi of Labour Party may arrive somewhere in 2023 general election? I mean, the point made by Akina, the youth movement, the influence, the social media, whatever. It does this. Please, borrow me a little sense of it so that the public will hear.
All politics is local, very, very local, and all politics is also physical. Since we haven't gotten to the full electronic voting, so there's a difference. Okay, there's a difference between social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and the physical election. Okay, so you have to make an effort, because there are several indices or several challenges that come on the morning of the election. Now, what if, for instance, on election morning it starts raining heavily? Can the young people, can they, in their rightful thoughts, say, okay, I'm going to stand under this rain? You come in as early as 7 a.m., there's no food. The election materials may not have arrived after 3 or 4 hours, between 7 a.m. and the next 3-4 hours. Would they be able to? So these are that's why it looks as if at the end of the day, we have older people queuing up to vote than the younger people. So leave now, while you're also working with your telephones, also work with the telephones from your room. The physical thing we are seeing electronically, you also come and show us physically. Move your phone, because nobody says you cannot also take your phone to take pictures of where you're voting, put them on social media as well for people to see. So it's absolutely different, because even the P2B's party, for instance, even came under scrutiny in Osun State. Because yes, there were some papers I saw 000. I think I'm not sure he scored up to the party got up to 2,000 votes.
It was 2,000 plus.
So it could now also be a case whereby yes, it was a typically 2-horse race, but also the deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, a former deputy speaker, immediately passed, being the governorship candidate. Then what could have been wrong? Okay. While he was in government, or while he was at the House of Representatives, what was he able to? What difference was he able to make for his people? So those are also the things that, because for him it will not be a referendum.
Charles, because of our time, what we are saying is that Aki mentioned Davido, who came to play good music, and the social media influence might not in all cases translated to the physical ballot paper you put in the boxes. Is that what you are saying?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. That's all right. Thank you very, very much. Then, let us still move the narration further, because I'm very, very cautious of time. Now, 2023 general elections, in view of what happened in Ekiti, rekindled in a brighter way at Osun in Osogbo. Shaz. Oh no, let me start with Aki. Your predictions, not more than 2 minutes, strictly, because we go more than that because of the time now. What's your predictions for 2023 general election?
The youths have climbed the mountains. And they are already seeing a new dawn. You just talked about Ekiti and Osun. Don't forget. Don't forget, where is it? Edo State. And please don't forget Anambra is moving gradually. What do I see?
Edo, Ondo, then Anambra.
What do I see in 2023?
Yes.
Clear, since you've just given me 2 minutes. I will say to you.
You spend 1 minute.
I will say to you, it is going to be a force of reckon. Charles was talking about something in the production process. When you have the raw materials and all that, and you are not able to convert it. Conversion now means that you must be serious about it. The youths are already seeing this trend. Oh, it can go on and on. I see situations where, even if, I hope people understand what I'm saying here, even if Peter Obi does not become the president in 2023, he is going to disrupt, and I like us to watch Lagos State, and I want us to watch River State. We have a dancing governor who is now the governor of Osun. We have in the wings Stone Todike, deputy. He's slated to be the deputy governor in an election. I will not be surprised if what we have and the trend of what we have, our 2 + 2 = 4. Lagos State, the center of excellence, is the one that I think we really need to do. When Funke Akindele was announced as the deputy governor to be for PDP, and people said, "Oh, she's this, she's that," but she has a following about 15.5 million. On the day that when I say following, I'm talking about Instagram. On the day the video was unleashed, she came up with over 600 million views. The present governor of Lagos State, his viewership, Asiwaju Tinubu added onto it. The vice, the deputy governor Hamzat had onto it. It's not up to half of that. So if we convert, if Funke Akindele, if Funke Akindele is able to convert just 10% of these 15.5 million votes, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking for a new dawn, and we are looking for real disruption.
A new dawn and real
disruption.
Charles, we are still talking now of translation of the social media influence into reality.
Yes.
Do you totally agree with Akin analysis? Just 2 minutes, sir.
I do,
and now my eyes are now on the clock.
I do, but I also still insist they have to lift it off the social media and come out physically. But remember, to people following Funke Akindele were all drawn in various political parties, because when it gets to politics, that is now when we start bearing our father's names. Because for an actor, I'm loving an actor. I'm loving what he or she does on TV and so on. I'm loving that. But the moment you identify that you belong to a particular party, then automatically people will also start saying, okay, that love will start shifting a bit. So yes, 50 million is a large number, but it is now your ability to convince those following you
that this is where we must go.
What can you do with 500 million naira? These are the kind of things. Are you going to buy a wristwatch with it? Are you going to buy
the type of wristwatch?
Are you going to buy a shoe with it? What can you do with 500 million naira? What can it do? What life can it change? For instance, I think Funke is from Ikorodu. Funke Akindele is from Ikorodu local government. So what can 500 million do for that local government? Okay, so these are the things you will now translate from social media to life. Because you need to there has to be a door-to-door consultation, door-to-door campaign, because it is not social media. We all understand what social media can do. And remember that the Nigerian politics is not an association politics or a union politics where you have about 50 people in that union. Yes, with the telephone, we'll be able to talk. We can ask questions and we can defend what we're saying. But this is an election. So it is.
So we need more than the social media itself. We must
move in there. Let us know what manifestos are there. What are they talking about? What is it about? How are you explaining it to me?
Okay, sir. I hold it there.
We've come a long way.
I hold it there, sir. Please permit me, because we don't really have the time anymore. But there's this vital question. EFCC coming into the matter, starting from Ekiti election, is a welcome development. And the good news is that a day before Friday last week, EFCC charged the court or belief court with purchasing and selling to court. The perimeter of getting somebody arrested for selling and purchasing of goods, are they strictly laid down? Is EFCC, the ICPC, I don't know whether they are here or there because it's their creation. I don't think the record have convinced somebody. That is number one. The question really that I will pull out of there. What is the mode of interpreting, purchasing, and buying of land? For example, before the election in Osun, we saw bags of rice bearing people's name, and it says vote for so person, and those bags of rice were given out before the end of the campaign. You know, campaign is always headed, legally speaking, 24 hours to. In such an act, can it not be translated to purchasing and buying of votes? If yes, if for example such act is committed by the Quebec governor, will immunity not hold the governor from the hands of those who are supposed to implement the law and take them to court? Your answer in 1.5 minutes now.
Well, I thought that was for...
No, I'm coming to him.
Guru, now, those bags of rice, those small bags of rice...
No, I saw big ones.
Can it also be translated to face caps? Can it be translated to umbrellas?
Okay.
Now, since political parties too, can they be translated to T-shirts?
Okay.
Because a very good T-shirt can cost as much as 10,000 naira.
Yes.
And those bags, those small bags of rice,
like the one that is wearing now,
cost as much as that as well.
Yes.
So if I can give somebody a T-shirt, like, fine.
Thank you very much, Charles. Can those things, as you brought them now, you broadened the question base, can they be instrument of EFCC going into function to arrest and charge the people that they are buying votes?
EFCC is Economic and Financial Crimes Commission.
Yes.
Fine. Maybe I'll read up that one, sir. I don't know more of those details, but what we understand by vote buying is the physical cash that sometimes we see when people line up to come and vote. We see somebody going back and forth, giving people those monies. Those are the ones we are thinking of. Those are the ones we think that the EFCC can always accost. But the question now is, EFCC being what they are too, now some of these monies also pass through financial institutions. And EFCC too, of which I don't know how it happens, because certain individuals will go to the banks to collect certain amount of
money. You have to throw the challenge now back to EFCC.
And they tell you that the EFCC will be notified of this amount. So do they also notify them when certain amounts of money are also being moved on the eve of the election? Or is it that the monies have already been moved earlier?
They might have been moved even 30 days before election.
So I think... for those
are you therefore increasing responsibility for EFCC in order to get to the bottom of the matter?
Sometimes I think EFCC's matters, they also increase these responsibilities for themselves. Or if they have now decided to say, okay, let us shift from the politically...
No. The EFCC in this matter, because it's a financial crime and it's basic responsibility of the EFCC.
But if you look at what you had always defined as the meaning of bribe, it says the giving of money in after or before an obligation must have been performed. Would you consider election merchandise, like you said, T-shirts, face cap, would that still also be considered as a financial crime? And that will bring the EFCC in?
No, the shirt might not follow that the purview of EFCC. But the cash always fall with it. Okay, Aki, let me have your narration, because that is the last.
Yes, sociologists will tell you that certain things are possible, certain things are worth pursuing, certain things are expensively prohibiting. Issues surrounding this, I am happy at what happened at Osun. People collected money. People collected those bags of rice, but they didn't win the elections. In other words, give it to us, yeah, we'll take it, but we'll go out there and vote our conscience. People are angry. There is a lot of angst. See what is happening on issues surrounding PVC and all that. Yes, of course, I talked about convertibility. The Guru, if the name of a particular person appears on a bag of rice and the person says, I didn't authorize it, how do you begin the process of going to prove, go to court, go to lower court, go to higher court, and go to whatever it is? You know what things are like this? The real court is the cause of the conscience and conscientization of people saying, yes, I collected 10,000 naira, but I'm so angry I don't like the issue of imposition. I don't like the issue of godfatherism. I know it is now the time that for us to retrieve back our country. Don't forget also, either way you look at it.
Okay, I will forget it because of the time.
Okay.
Permit me to forget it because of the time.
All right. Okay.
Now, one last question is for two of you. Okay. It will come after listening to our prayer, then historical perspective. It will come last. Adu, open the line.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We'll also take messages this morning as well. WhatsApp is 0809-234-5913 for you to join us. 0809-234-5913. Join the conversation and let's get talking. Okay, so let me start from WhatsApp. I'll go to Twitter and then come to the phone lines quickly. Shinayomi says, the Guru Buru and Adu, Nigerians are happy that Osun people's voice was heard. I think other political office holders would learn from Oyetola and his father. His father's fall. We pray for what happened in Osun State to happen in Ogun State come 2023. Honorable Ade is the one speaking now. Tunde says, one Yoruba proverb said, a stranger can never know the background or of a blind man without an insider. Did I say it correctly?
Yes, very, very correctly.
Okay. Kirikiri Town has Peter Newland join us from there. Says, good morning, Adu and Guru. Congratulations to Adeleke for winning the Osun governorship election. Tinubu has not spoken since then. Since those he said will labor in vain triumphantly won disparately. Uzodinma does not have the right mindset to be a leader, talk less to be the governor. He'll be voted out soon, like his brother in Osun. The obedient youth are waiting and ready to use their PVC wisely against evil politicians, just as they sacrificed their blood during the NSARS at Lekki Gate. Lolade also joins, says, good morning, Adu. Fashola did not go to foreign hospital during his tenure.
Okay.
Congrats to Adeleke, but where are the youths? The total number of opponent parties apart from APC results is less than 50,000. Yet we demand change, included Labour Party. Yet we demand change, included Labour Party.
Okay, let me just make, before you move to the next one, is that when I spoke about the medical tour overseas, I never concentrated on states. I'm talking at the federal level. Obasanjo, he has his own special hospital that throughout his tenure, nobody knew the hospital overseas, but he has his own special hospital which he visits. That is the traditional hospital from Abeokuta. Obasanjo is satisfied with his agbo. He prepares his agbo and he does it. Obasanjo is diabetic, but you will not know it. Obasanjo, as we talk, at his age, he does 12 miles every day. And with the agbo, he will. Good luck, Jonathan. The only time he felt that, of course, Yar'Adua happened to be one person. He was to go on holiday. He refused to choose overseas. What is this in the Cross River?
Ranch, Obudukato Ranch.
Obudukato, he chose that. But when sickness came, of course, he had to be taken to. But this is not to say that at the national level, we have leaders. I just gave a typical example. For a leader to leave one hospital in London to go and greet another leader in another hospital in London tells us the ship. Go ahead.
Twitter is where I'm going to next. Adedeji Adegoyega says, PMB congratulating message to the winner. Osun State governorship election has nullified or invalidated any attempt by APC to challenge the results in court of law. APC should lick their wounds. The people of Osun have decided. Why are we like this? Why are we celebrating the choice of the decision of the VP to perform his surgery in Nigeria as if it is monumental? Whether he traveled abroad or not, it's taxpayer money that will go.
No. Adegoyega, you are my son. But for this one, I disagree with you. We just have to give homage to whom homage is due. Yes, go ahead.
It says, I want to ask Mr. Akin Fatunke a simple question concerning the state of our refinery. Is it possible for the refineries to be working?
The topic of refinery is not the discussion today. Please.
I guess he wants to draw from his expertise.
Yes, but it's not a discussion today. If I have the privilege of bringing him again, which shall come very, very soon, we'll talk about the refineries.
Okay, still on Twitter. This is from Obedient Ugochukwu Nadi. He says, somebody who is not satisfied with the salary, how can overtime be enough? A terrorist is turbaned by an emir last Saturday and they turned blind eye. As for Hope, he's lucky he moves with heavy security. Imo youths would have chopped off somebody's wrist.
No, the man Taliban is being removed by Zamfara State Governor.
Zamfara State Governor.
He's been removed. He turban him as something of Fulani. He is being removed because of the emir who turban him has been derobed. So go ahead.
My question is, was he done under duress?
I do. Go ahead first. Before we come to you to find out your question.
0809-234-5913. The phone line to call 0809-234-5913.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam. Turn off your radio, please.
My name is Chinas. God will bless this man. God will bless you. You're a truthful man. God will bless you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
No weapon and one fashion against you will prosper in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Our Oga, do you know Uzodinma was imposed on Imo people? I am from Imo. He's the one that is causing the war there. Uzodinma was imposed on us. Yes. By the grace of God, he will be pulled down here. Did you see? If you go to Imo State, nothing is being done. It's always finding trouble. Destroying people's welfare, their market something. Doing nothing. Only finding trouble.
Thank you, Mommy.
When he finds trouble, he will run to Zaba at Abuja, and that's why we save him. He will not save him again in Jesus' name.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Amen. Thank you. Hey, Mama, thank you very much. God bless you too.
Wow.
Go ahead.
455 million naira.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Agro. Good morning.
Yes,
good morning, and all the gentlemen in the studio.
Morning, please.
My name is Peter Monse from Shomolu. Please, I just want to use the election of Osun State to remind all the youth that this is the time for us to wake up. And when the campaign starts, I think our major aspect of the campaign will be to campaign against vote buying. I used to express fear about the INEC, but if they can continue with what they did in Osun State, maybe they would have reduced those fears. Because my fears had always been that will INEC cooperate with Nigerians? Because we are not ready to be fooled the second time. We were fooled 2015, 2019. We are not ready to be fooled again.
Thank you very much.
INEC will allow the will of the people to stand.
Peter, thank you from Shomolu. My regards to Shomolu brothers and sisters.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Turn off your radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Joy, calling from Lekki.
Okay.
Hello, Joy. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Adu and the Guru, God bless you. I love you so much.
Oh, my joyful Joy.
Thank you for being truthful. Thank you for who you are.
Thank you. God bless you.
We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Adu, we thank you for this program every time. I always want to listen to you. I learn one or two things every time I listen to you. I'm really happy to meet you this morning.
How do
there's something I want to talk about.
You have less than a minute now because
okay. Concerning the forthcoming election, the government should not think that the youth are just going to fold their hands like they usually do. You see how resilient they were when it was during the EndSARS. It's going to be like that.
Okay.
I'll personally vote and I'll personally defend my vote. And I'm going there with a bet.
Okay.
I will vote and I will defend my vote.
Okay.
And I think if all the youth have the same mindset,
this person, I can't pick your phone now, you know that.
All right. Thank you, Joy. Well said there. Vote and defend your vote.
I do.
Well, the words of Masari is not gradually coming to pass. So we need to learn how to get self-defense. We are defending our vote.
Who to do that? Is it Asari?
I said, you need to say people should learn how to get.
Who are you quoting now?
I said the words of Masari. Is it not gradually coming to pass?
The word of Masari. It's only Masari. Danjimo told you this before. T.Y. Danjimo. All of them are telling. Did Obasanjo not tell you about agenda of Islamization?
That's why I said defending your vote.
Yes. So you defend yourself. You defend your vote. You know, to defend the vote, you have to put yourself on the front line. I do pick only one call because there is this question which must not run off my head.
All right. Well, the one call did not go through.
Okay, pick a second call.
Okay, second call. Okay. Second call, did you go through? Yes, it did. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. What's your name, please?
My name is Adisa Mutiru from Ikorodu.
All right, go ahead quickly.
1 minute, sir.
I just want to correct an impression that the 2023 election will come from in 30 states. We are having votes in the 36 states of the federation next year because the Senate, National Assembly, the State Assembly, the State will participate in National Assembly elections to all the other states.
Yes.
Elections,
no, good morning. This is not the number you are supposed to call.
So that is my submission.
Okay, we should not do too much on that now. The correction. Anambra will not go for votes next year. We know this now. So, but what we are talking is that what is the show that has just taken place? How is it profiling 2023? One question, 2 answers, 1 minute each. Sir. My God. All right, thank God we invited our people. What? 2 of you are political giants. Don't, Charles, I will tell the people what they did not show. You were pointing to Akin. I will, you cannot. 2 of you are political giants. What are your predictions for 2023? Given what we are now seeing, which political party is most likely, and be blunt now, to win 2023 general election? It is just February and March. Few minutes from now. I start with you for making. Oh yeah, there you are.
Oh, the guru. After throwing me under the bus, is there anybody who can conveniently make that prescription?
No, I didn't say conveniently. Make it inconveniently. So please just give us something.
Inconveniently. I foresee a situation where, for the very first time, I'm convinced that we have a disruptor coming into the PDP, APC, maybe a couple of ones. But in all our discourse, there is one gentleman, and that is Abiola's son, who
PRP.
Yes, who, like the others that we are looking at, is silently doing some work, has empowered over 1 million Treasury Fund people.
Hope you are not campaigning for him.
I'm not campaigning for him.
Because we'll send you the invoice.
What I'm trying to say is, like Bola Ige said, 5 leprous hands of. I still believe
of the same hand.
I still believe
5 leprous figures of the same hand.
I still believe and hope that with convertibility, the Labour Party would shock most of us.
Okay. So you are backing on PRP and Labour Party.
If 72% of people who have PVC convert that, go out there and vote, and it's going to at least relatively be one man, one vote, and President Muhammadu Buhari is saying that, well, it doesn't concern him. I'm not going to manipulate.
Okay, thank you.
It's going to be very, very difficult for these 2 other parties to come.
Give us the wisdom you have
make
there.
A difference.
The guru.
Yes, sir.
You remain the guru, so one would have expected you to ordinarily have answered this question. So we've told the line, but since you have thrown it at me, and I'm looking you right inside your eyeballs,
yes,
and being one of your followers, I see a 2-horse race and a third one giving them very, very close marking.
Are you saying the third one will be the most favored bride? as Omisore was the favored bride when Oshu people first of all rejected APC before the intervention of that phone call that came from Abuja, and before the court says that since one of the judges did not do this.
But since the favored bride did not still make any difference now, so could it also have been the favored bride?
Then are you saying that
one would have also expected that the favored bride, and with the new nomenclature now around him, should have even been able to have influenced the election more. But for next year presidential election, I see a 2-horse race and a third one giving a very close mark.
Are you saying that the result, therefore, what you see as you look at your crystal ball, the result may be too close to count? Are we going to have a rerun between the two?
We are not going to have a rerun.
Okay.
We are not going to have a rerun.
Okay.
But it's going to be closely and close. Both 1, 2, 3. So there's not going to be a rerun. We have the PDP, the APC, the Labour Party, the NNPP. We have the AAC,
the SDP,
the SDP. We have the PRP. So we have at least 18 political parties, and out of the 18, we have about half of, almost 15 of the other ones, about 12 of the other ones are under 55 years of age. Okay, so let's see how young people can also be able to marshal.
Okay, you are bargaining that age may bring the difference in the factors of 2023.
Absolutely, too many things are going to come up in 2023. Now, remember that we don't have an incumbent running. So it's a big factor as well. We don't have an incumbent running, which also means that to some extent, state paraphernalia may not see itself coming fully, as we would have said, yes, but we're still going to come in. So I see a case of.
Thank you very, very much, please, gentlemen.
And a third.
Sit properly. Let's go through my historical perspective for today. We are not forgetting so easily what happened in December 25th, 2011. On that Christmas Day where Christians gathered in the St. Teresa Catholic Church, Madala, Niger State, when a bomb exploded and 37 worshippers were cut out of life. That was 25th December 2011, and we're talking of 25th December is always a Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
We should not forget that. Adu,
yes,
you reminded me that because I said this, so if I take a little of the time. Now, did Goodluck Jonathan move speedily on that matter? I may not be in a position to give yes or no, because there are too many there are two bigger camps that may take me in or take me out. But with time, by the structure given to the DSSS, we saw picture of Kabiru Umar Abubakar Dikko, aka Kabiru Sokoto, who was the mastermind of that deadly Christmas Day. Of course, the president ordered, bring him back to book. Bring him in. Through whichever means, either by the sea, by the desert, or a donkey or a monkey fishing him out, bring him in. Then the race of getting this man arrested became a momentum. Please, listeners, this is very, very recent historical perspective. 2011. His name, I repeat it, Kabiru Umar Abubakar Dikko, aka Kabiru Sokoto. Eventually, after searching the whole world, including journey made to Sudan, where he was at the time, when he was being transformed into a terrorist, he was caught in Abuja. at the lodge, the house of Kashim Shettima. Then the governor of
Borno State.
This threw a lot of sensible questions to the domain of security officers. He was arrested in the lodge of Shettima Kashim. And while he was arrested, the case went under the powers of investigation of Zakir Biu, a top police officer. And Zakir Biu happened to be a man of suspected and dubious character. Don't forget easily the aposis that happened in 2006 in Abuja, where those people were wiped off. When the only girl that survived was taken to a police station, and even the sergeant that was convicted to die for the case mentioned that is their boss that gave him instruction to shoot dead the girl in the police station. That beautiful yellow girl from Imo State. Charles, is it from Imo State or from our Abia State? From Imo State. Let me help you out. Biu happened to be somebody that was sent away out of the police force. But he came back when Buhari took over. No, he came back before Buhari took over. Sorry, he came back before Buhari took over. And I think he rose to become Assistant Inspector General Police. He was a young man that I knew very, very much well in Police Public Relations Officer. When Frank Odita, still very much alive, a very, very agile police officer, was heading the Nigeria Police Force. And we will sit there. I know him, Bill. Then, if you look at the level of that relationship, the whole thing is very, very lengthy, but I will shorten it because of time. You will discover that Shettima happened to be a very, very good governor. But I made it clear, either last week or before, that a letter was sent from Ministry of Education to the governor, Shettima. And that letter was signed by Nyesom Wike, now governor, as a Minister of State in the Ministry of Education. And the letter told him that all those children that in the border will be attacked. This is what intelligence report brought in. Like intelligence report from DSS and Kwanko that of Kuje and nobody took. And that therefore he should not keep them at school. But they said because there's an examination, the governor jettisoned that letter of warning. And immediately those girls were captured. I said I was in the studio of Channel 4 in London where Shettima came in. The presenter that was to ask her question told me that one of your governors is coming in, and this is question. So I now told her that please ask this type of question. I gave her 2 questions. And one of them was what the girl asked him. Your state, this is what happened. Yes. Why would you be in London at this hour? Is the life of those children He answered that because of borehole contract that was ongoing, he came. This is the Shettima. Am I right in the name? Mm-hmm. This is the Kashim Shettima that is running double, or what do you call it?
Muslim ticket?
Muslim ticket with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think we should know this. We should therefore ask some important question. Why was Kabiru Sokoto hiding in the Borno State Governor's Lodge at Asoko? Why was Kashim Shettima vehemently opposed to the security directives issued by the President Jonathan with repeat to the Boko Haram crisis, and that it culminated in the Chibok tragedy? And even after Jonathan lost in 2015, he, Shettima, was still bitter about the former president, and co. Why was Shettima insisted on amnesty for Boko Haram, which would have included the Sokoto man? No, not from Sokoto, but because it's from Kogi also. These are necessary as historical perspective so that it can be proved, in the words of Professor Pius Adesomi, a Nigeria-born Canadian professor, who made the statement that not all of us chose to be slaves. It was for this reason, to fulfill that statement, that historical perspective like this must come. Not that it might have much to do with what is written, because in the Bible, Pontius Pilate told the wife, "Give me water to wash my hands," because what is written is written. Any other thing that we need to say here will be for that book that Professor Pius Adesomi was able to create before his departure, because he died in that plane crash, flight 302, by that plane, Boeing 737, on March 8, on March 10, 2019. He was one of those brilliant brains that Nigeria brilliant brains that went with that. I repeat what he said in his book. Not all of us chose to be slaves. By the time the narration will come tomorrow, where future generation will question what we are, what Aki has said today, what Shas answered, let it not be concluded by the future that we are, that not all of us choose to be slaves. End of historical perspective. All right, I have no more time than to thank my guest. Aki, thank you very, very much. Charles, thank you very, very much for being available, for increasing my knowledge for today. God will bless all of you. God will enhance all of you. I do thank you very much.
God bless you.
Ruru,
Kosi.
No, not Kosi. Kos. Thank you. Uncle, who come with Oga, thank you. And Prince Will, thank you for manipulating this thing. I have a word for the friends of the Guru, and that word will come on tomorrow when we do this. But until, of course, you can follow me, Godwin, underscore Godwin, at Godwin _Weibo, or Godwin Etakwebu Facebook. Visit my website, www.godwintheguru.com, and of course, follow. Have you watched the last uploaded video in my YouTube channel when I was totally dark, mourning and crying?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
You haven't?
Yes, I think I'll go see it.
So you are one of those that is not wishing me well, dear friend. So, Charles again, Aki, thank you. Until next week, Monday, please keep yourself out of trouble. Bye-bye.